Here's a question from Lauren. She wants to know, how long does it take to show symptoms if you come in contact with the virus?
So what they found out is people who start getting symptoms, half of them will get them within 5 days. Almost everybody gets them within 12 days. And that's why they have the 14-day incubation period, to add a couple days on the end as a buffer.
Okay, real quick. I mean, a lot of us, might have a sniffly nose or whatever. What is a telltale sign that this could be coronavirus?
So the two biggest telltale signs are getting that fever and developing shortness of breath. If you develop shortness of breath, that's definitely time to seek medical help.
Okay, this question comes from Hoda across the studio. She read that taking widely used over-the-counter anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen may worsen the coronavirus. I saw that article, too. I mean, that's the stuff you would take to keep your fever down.
And from Hoda, I thought it'd be a toilet paper question.
No, we all did.
It's very theoretical. A French health minister put out a tweet saying ibuprofen might actually make things worse with coronavirus, but it's very theoretical. Nothing's been proven about that. And a lot of experts are saying it doesn't really matter. But if you're concerned, take acetaminophen instead of ibuprofen to reduce your fevers.
Okay, but we don't yet know if that's the case. Okay, Jared is wondering, if you test negative for the virus, do you still recommend staying isolated or self-quarantined?
So if you're quarantined for 14 days because you were exposed, you want to stay quarantined for the full 14 days. Even if you test negative at day 6 or 7, exactly what we talked about. It could be day 12 or 14 before you get it. If you have symptoms and you're isolated, you definitely need to stay isolated until you get those 2 negative tests within 24 hours of each other.
Okay, Linda says she's basically had a dry cough for days, but no other symptoms. Could that be the coronavirus with only that symptom?
Coronavirus can have one symptom, no symptoms, multiple symptoms. A dry cough definitely could be part of coronavirus. The main things are the cough, runny nose, fever are the biggest things, and shortness of breath. Okay, we've got somebody actually on a live shot, Sarah Wilburn of Richmond, Virginia. Hi, Sarah. What's your question for Dr. John?
Yes. How will we know that things are getting better or the virus is starting to slow down? Yeah. And then what are the experts looking for as signs of improvement?
And Sarah, that's a fantastic question. And you hear about them talking about flattening the curve and the wave they talk about coming through towards the end of the summer. That's what we're looking at. We know this curve's going to go up, meaning more cases. We're on the incline right now, and it's going to start coming down. When it starts coming down and sustain coming down, then we'll start saying, okay, it looks like we're getting out of the woods, but we still need to make all the effort to get that down.
But we don't know that until we're testing in a very routine manner.
Exactly. The testing is, like I said, it's a linchpin to all of this.
Yeah. All right, Dr. John, thank you.
The World Health Organization is advising the public not to take ibuprofen for coronavirus symptoms without consulting a doctor. The WHO says its health experts are still looking into possible negative effects of taking anti-inflammatory drugs to treat COVID-19 symptoms. This comes after French Health Minister Olivier Véran warned that such drugs could worsen the effects of the coronavirus. The Lancet Medical Journal has also hypothesized that an enzyme boosted by anti-inflammatory drugs could worsen COVID-19 infections. The UK's National Health Service had advised self-isolating people with the virus to take ibuprofen, but has now rolled back on that advice.
Stories have been circulating online about the use of ibuprofen in the treatment of coronavirus. But what is ibuprofen and how does it work? Ibuprofen is a class of what's known as non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. These are drugs that help to reduce inflammation. Inflammation is the body's immune system's response to an irritant such as a virus or bacteria. And ibuprofen acts to block your body's production of certain natural substances that cause inflammation, which in turn can help to relieve pain. To learn more about inflammation and what happens when it goes wrong, we spoke to Dean Willis, lecturer in neuroscience, physiology and pharmacology at University College London.
Inflammation is absolutely required for the continued well-being of an individual. An optimal immune reaction, both innate and adaptive, and an optimal inflammatory response. The problem is that inflammation itself can also cause damage when inappropriate. And we see this characterized in many inflammatory type diseases. Probably the classical example is things like rheumatoid arthritis, where we see inflammation associated with the joints initially, in asthma, where it's in places like the lung.
So for most people, inflammation is a necessary process our body uses to deal with infection or injury. But for some people, inflammation can cause problems. So do we use anti-inflammatory drugs to treat these people?
We can inhibit inflammation, but the downside is we always have some degree of increased susceptibility to infections. And this is the major problem. So with something like COVID-19, you may want to increase the activity of the immune system, of your antiviral system, to try and clear the virus. However, at the same time, an overactivation of your immune system leading to more inflammation can actually be quite serious. And it's a delicate balance, which, to be honest, is difficult to address.
For the time being, there is currently no strong evidence that ibuprofen can make coronavirus or COVID-19 worse. But until we have more information, the UK government advised taking paracetamol to treat the symptoms of coronavirus, unless a doctor has said that paracetamol is not suitable.
Hi, I'm John Brooks with CDC. You know, we've been getting a lot of questions about whether drugs like ibuprofen can worsen the course of disease and make you sicker if you get COVID-19. Well, let me tell you what we know. We review the scientific literature regularly and speak to colleagues, and at the present time, there's no compelling evidence that ibuprofen and other drugs like it can make you sicker if you have COVID-19. Now, we're going to continue to monitor this situation, and if things change, we'll tell you. But there are things you can do so you don't even have to worry about COVID-19 by preventing you from getting it. Those things include washing your hands on a regular basis, as well as maintaining social distancing. That way, you don't infect other people, and they can't infect you. Let's work together to keep ourselves, our families, and our communities safe from COVID-19. If you want more information about COVID-19, go to www.cdc.gov/COVID-19.